Hello everyone, Luke Smith here. It is Friday the 16th of September. Let's do a Encyclopedia Dramatica reading. Now this individual, I don't really know much about her. However, what I do know is she's trans and she got swatted a few times, and apparently the Kiwi Farms was behind it. That is why the Kiwi Farms is down. However, I'm going to make a separate video on the reason why the Kiwi Farms was down, and the same effect the Quickie, because I really miss the Quickie. I really want the Quickie back. I don't give a fuck about the Kiwi Farms. I don't use it and I don't think it's that great. It's the Quickie that I'm wanting back. So I got face cam up mainly because I need to use it to fill the screen, because there's some I had to look in this article because in case any pornography, and there is. So I'm not gonna get taken down, so I'm gonna censor it by blowing up my face cam. So this is the article of Keffals. Ratios won't make you a woman, and that was Lawrence Sutherland telling Keffals that the internet isn't a real place. Kinda true. That is kinda true. There's no such thing as friends on the internet. You gotta go out into the big real world and explore. Internet is not for everyone. Keffals' actual real name Lucas Roberts, tranny name Carla Sonetti, is a 28-year-old Canadian commie. Oh yeah, she's apparently she's a communist as well. Porn stick tranny and pathological liar who spends all day screaming at thousands on his Twitch about how he hates everyone he hates is a Nazi. Deluded to the point that he thinks that surgery has made him into a woman. It doesn't. He has now reached such batshit levels of insanity, and he thinks that people want to see his pathetic prosthetic pussy on porn sites. Lucas always takes Twitter very seriously. I'm pretty sure that's the left in general. I hate Twitter. I fucking hate Twitter. He ratios like bots posts that support his agenda under the belief that it will save trans lives. Lucas gained infamy when he got Stephen Bonetti II banned from Twitch. Despite Stephen being pro-tranny, Lucas cherry-picked quotes and clips in order to make him look like a transphobe and subsequently get him banned from Twitch. Believing that the big bad evil companies were on his side, Lucas now picks fights with anyone he can find, calling them Nazis and transphobes. On this supposed crusade to rid the Reb of those evil transphobes, he labelled Null and the fat neckbeard behind the Kiwi Farms as the supposed king of the transphobes. Unsurprisingly, this only resulted in Lucas earning a Kiwi Farms fed, solidifying him as yet another lolcow waiting to be milked. We got some information. Real name Lucas Roberts, tranny name Carla Sonetti, born March 25th, 94, race white, Canadian, and Twitter is Keffals, YouTube is Keffals, and Twitch is Keffals. They are all, I believe they're all up apart from her Twitch. I don't know about that though, but her YouTube and Twitter is still up. I actually viewed them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure her Twitch is still up. I'm not sure. I haven't seen her Twitch yet. Okay, I'm not scrolling anymore because below that is nudes. I'm not showing that. Background. Lucas is born healthy baby boy on the 25th of March 94. However, it became quite clear that Lucas was very stupid. At 13 years old, Lucas got in contact with an old man online and sent him naughty pictures of himself. Why the fuck would you do that? Unless he was grooming you, so I'm not quite sure. He probably lied about his age. Pedophiles work that way. Now he claims that he was groomed. and this was clear manipulation, but we all know deep down that sick fuck like sending pictures to this man. Hardly any record or proof this happened exists. But we only know about it because Lucas loves to talk about himself and let slip this mistake when defending himself against some jokes about being a groomer. Let this early example show Lucas is very stupid, and whenever you believe his side of the story or not, he's both impressionable and impulsive, a reoccurring theme in his life. So it sounds like he did send him porn willingly, knowing what he was doing. After becoming a CP star, Lucas decided that being a lolly, that is basically underage girls, would be better for his career than continuing as a simple shota. This is like, yeah, that's like Japanese themes, isn't it? Like a Japanese female Japanese child is a lolly, and a male Japanese child is a shota. It's like a Twitter thing that's been going on for years. It's like, because over there, if you're in Japan, the age of consent is 12. So a lot of paedophiles love the Japanese. Fucking hell. Where was I? His father dying of terminal cancer. With his father dying of terminal cancer, Lucas saw this as a perfect timing to start hormone therapy, convincing his father to spend his life savings on his surgery. What a stupid fucking idiot you are. Now looking like a crude mockery of nature's perfection, Lucas renamed himself Clara Sarnetti, and decided on the deathbed of his father that every night he would dress up as a woman and scream at people for free money. It's important to note that, possibly due to the surgery, Lucas gained an addiction to opioids, a hormone drug, I'm guessing. After being tricked into sending news to an old man and then tricking an old man to splash cash on his surgery, Lucas was then tricked into believing that an ideology created by an old man almost as stupid as Lucas herself, communism, starting out as a member of the Communist Party of Canada in 2018, here you fucking go, eventually becoming an organiser of the party. Lucas, under his new Clara identity, managed to get himself kicked out for a variety of reasons. Fucking hell, it didn't last long. One of them being that Lucas has become such a compulsive liar that he kept getting the party into trouble. Given that he was heavily criticised by not being a real commie, they dropped him from their party in 2020, so he lasted like 2 years to avoid controversy. There we are. While some think Lucas' communist phase may have been him coping with his father's loss by giving him an edgy commie, by being an edgy commie, the real answer is much simpler. Lucas joined a stupid group made for stupid people like himself, but Lucas is so stupid that he didn't understand their rhetoric, so they kicked him out. After being kicked out of the party, he was accused of embezzling donations funds from the Communist Party to buy opioids to fuel his addiction. Being one of the organisers, he would have had access to the funds. Since his political prospects were becoming less and less likely, it is very possible that Lucas selfishly used the funds in the same way he used his father's cash, as another way to fuel his own needs. Lucas furiously denies these claims, but other members of the party, as well as other communists and leftists, have said he's full of bullshit. When he became the infamous Twitch tard we know today, communists from the party would come out and expose how little Lucas actually knows about Marxism and communist writing, essentially confirming a claim that he only joined to cope with his loss. Although it could also be the dumb commies trying to ride on Lucas's coattails. So for this next bit, I will pull this up right here. Let me just pull that up right there. And then we get to this bit because it's got nudie things on it. Short-lived porn career. This is going to get interesting. Let me just see if it's still up. So it should be. Yeah, it's absolutely fine. Lucas is a disgusting degenerate beyond his transgender delusion. An awful lot of dirt about his life, both before and after his transition, revealed how sick in the head he truly is. For starters, he is a disgusting slob who relied on his dad to clean up. And for a long while after his father's death, Lucas would sit in his disgusting room surfing the web while his room slowly decayed under the empty piles under the piles of empty cans, used tissues and empty boxes. In 2014, Lucas decided to upload porn videos of his disgusting body under the name of Sky. He put these on a transgender fetish site called Canada Tea Girl. This was during his transition, likely recorded whilst his father was coughing up blood. Nice to know his final moments were funding his deluded son's fetish. And I'm not even going to describe what I see. It's just nudie shit right there. So let me put the let me put this back to the side right here. And let's carry on. Catboy Ranch. One of Lucas's biggest achievements is Catboy Ranch CR, a popular Twitter account he ran that tweeted some of the worst attempts at humour the world has ever seen, beyond yet another advertisement of pure degeneracy. It was being used to direct followers to a Discord where they exchanged flirty DMs and showed their disgusting BDSM collars. This got Lucas in quite some trouble, as ages were never validated, and members as young as 12 were claiming they were preyed upon by members of the Catboy Ranch community. Fucking hell. The parents of these kids were definitely at fault for not beating the little shits and telling them to quit their faggot obsession. But Lucas was also to blame, especially since messages kept surfacing of what was being said in CR, as well as how unconcerned Lucas was with the possible paedophilic actions of his members. Lucas sold the account and server at his peak relevance. Relevance. There we are. There we are. Keep getting them two phrases confused. Probably to hide his complacency. Complacency? Yeah, I think so. Into grooming minors, but also so the community still exists, although it is much smaller and has far better management. Some of the screenshots of CR are provided by other trannies who feel Lucas is not helping the cause, as his actions invite comparisons of him being a groomer. It's impossible to tell how many of the pictures are real and if any of them lacking context. But with the abundance of screenshots, confessions and exposes all coming from people that should be on Lucas's side, it seems clear that CR was an absolute mess under this management. Twitter and Twitch menace. Adopting the username of Keffals, Lucas started streaming on Twitch, where he would spend 2 hours ranting about trans issues and rights. This is a common sight on Twitch, as Keffals falls under the debate and politics side of Twitch. I thought he was an IRL streamer. I don't know. Where streamers will shout and scream at each other over politics. Pretty much politics, yeah. Over topics they don't understand. It's less about defending or upholding ideas and philosophies and more about the ego. And how much money you can squeeze out of the brain-dead audience you can attract. The trend of streaming was started by Destiny, a leftard who spent 11 years populating these Twitch debates, as well as making a career out of streaming. Keffals' streams are mostly of him swaveling around in his chair, complaining that almost everything and anything is transphobic, and as well as him acting passive-aggressive against his own viewers and fans. That must be a fucking toxic stream to watch. Jesus Christ. I don't really watch Twitch anymore, that's the thing. Destiny. When asked if men who pretended to be women should be allowed to compete in women's sports, Destiny said no lol, before burping very loudly and going back to playing Minecraft. While Destiny is a tranny lover, it did seem in a spare moment that she had used more than 3 brain cells when she had come to the objectively correct opinion. Keffals saw this, however, and reported Destiny to Twitch due to one of the rules on Twitch stating that you have to suck tranny cock or you'll get banned. Keffals' report was successful and Destiny's career was deleted in 1 second. Keffals immediately gloated on this on Twitter, stating that he was proud that he lost the main source of his income. He lost the main source of his income, seeing this as the beginning of his crusade against transphobes everywhere. He tried to have Destiny's Twitter account banned, and now he cyberstalks him every day. Isn't Destiny a female? I don't know, I always thought she was a female, unless she was a transgender male to female, but like I said, I've never heard of Destiny. I don't bother about Twitch, I don't bother about politics and all that leftist shit. I try to keep away from that shit as much as possible. Where was I? He tried to ban now cyberstalks him every day, waiting until he finally lashes out at the psycho who stole his job so he can then report him for transphobia and bullying. Strange how much Keffals relies on the transphobia thing. It's almost as if they are not a oppressed minority, but instead a very powerful identity anyone can weaponize to turn on those who don't like. Lawrence Sutherland. Southern, yeah, I think it is. Lauren woke up from her coffin after an 1,000 years slumber. I've got no idea who that is, by the way. Calling out Keffals for deplatforming Destiny. Despite Lauren's previous shouting matches with Destiny, it seems that she didn't like the threat Keffals posted, and so she criticised this weaponizing of identity politics to silence those that he did not like. Keffals then responded to these arguments with a clever rebut. "Nah, I'm joking," Keffals just replied, "ratio," because responding appropriately would prove he's a stupid faggot with an itchy trigger finger. This caused a fight between Lauren's White Knights and Keffals' Cold fans, with brilliant arguments on both sides. Keffals' fanboy said that Lauren was old and would have no kids. Lauren's White Knights responded, saying that she was a married mother, and that was something Keffals could never be. Lauren then ratioed Keffals' ratio with "ratios won't make you a woman," a line that hit Keffals harder than he'd like to admit, which is probably why after this he stopped going after her. Lauren was later banned from Twitch, something that Keffals was more than happy to take credit for, until it was revealed that Lauren had been banned for having Destiny on her show. not because Keffals supported her. Fucking hell. Drama much. Null. Eventually, the autistic overlord of the Kiwi farms was going to find out about Keffals' actions, and so Null went on stream where he discussed who Keffals was and what he had been doing. Keffals got very upset, calling Null the final boss of transphobes, and started accusing Null of doxing and harassing random trannies. This swiftly led to the creation of a Kiwi Farms thread about Keffals, which I don't think Null made, I'm not quite sure, which was teeming with juicy info and dirt on who the tranny behind the camera really was. New accounts with no post histories were flooding the page with Keffals' personal info, leading to the suspicion that his inner circle may not have been as loyal as he had suspected. With Keffals being a self-proclaimed user of the forum, it's no surprise that he had started to respond into the posts. But instead of using an account to respond personally, he tweeted his butthurt responses on Twitter, referring to the page in a vague language as to try to hide the fact that he's been lurking all along. Yeah, that's the thing, because it's like, if that thread on the Kiwi Farms wasn't made, it would still be up. The Kiwi Farms would still be alright. So the Kiwi Farms kind of brought it on themselves when someone put that thread up. They shouldn't have done it. Comparative liar. Let's pull it down a little bit. There you go. Similar to a small child, Keffals thinks of himself as holier than thou. As always correct and a smart child, this means that he can never be wrong, and whenever an evil transphobe corners him with proof of him being in the wrong, Keffals just lies and head off to avoid repercussions. He knows his army of brainwashed children will defend him to their last breath, so he sleeps easy knowing he's immune to responsibility. But while it's easy to lie in text on Twitter and behind closed doors, it's harder to lie on a Twitch stream where you can't delete or take back what you said. That's because everyone records Twitch streams now, especially like DSP streams and Wings of Redemption, because they need clips to take the piss out of them. One example would be when Keffals claimed that Destiny was a rapist on stream. That's a bit fucking extreme, isn't it? Jesus Christ. He accused them of stealthing, which is the act of poking a hole in your condom so you can impregnate whichever whore you like. Keffals was so used to lying that he sat in his chair with an evil grin for a minute or two before he realised that this was a bullshit lie, to which he hurriedly backtracked. Well, I know if he did it, but if you're curious, while Keffals hates Destiny so much, it's because Keffals lies to men about his genitals before hooking up. Catfishing, in other words. Apparently these partners must be in a constant state of drunken stupidity not to see through Keffals' shitty cosplay. But once they reach the bedroom and turn and run from his disgusting acts ruined, Destiny said that he doesn't agree with transgender men and women lying about the biology to partners. And so it's theorised that Keffals took offence to this, thus sparking his hatred for Destiny. Keffals also has a hard time keeping their lies straight. Happy to gloat and take credit for Destiny's ban for days on Twitter, while being called out for cancel culture and deplatforming online, Keffals kept switching his story, either claiming that Twitch themselves did it without any reports on his end, and that it was. I'll say that properly because even that sentence confused me for a bit. in the name of stopping transphobia. Similarly, with Lauren Southern, Keffals took credit and even tweeted at Lauren directly claiming that he got her Twitch taken down until Lauren showed the email stating that she has been banned for restreaming Destiny's content, not because of the report or transphobia, due to Keffals' habit of blocking people and tweeting behind their back. A normal response would be to block people, to block Keffals back in return, but some creators found that after blocking Keffals would be a stealthy unblock them and then gloat that they are such a scary heckin' valid trans woman that would mysteriously block them out of pure fear that someone was fighting back against transphobia. List of bans. Second Twitter account. After the special needs king of Twitter, Ratios is a little is a title that would most be embarrassed to have. While it seems that Keffals has always been proud of his claim to fame, maybe he has been trying to lose it by getting banned. As this relevance slowly died, Keffals has been losing Twitter accounts, starting with its alt account. In May, Keffals deleted his alternate Twitter account, a private Twitter account you have to request to follow. This account was Keffals' outlet to rant about anything he didn't like, so basically his Twitch in text format. But Keffals later deleted it, saying that the trolls in hiding who were screenshotting and sharing his tweets ruined a good thing. This was a premonition for the future for Keffals, because there was not just inbred truckers and the terminally ill online who disliked him anymore, but fellow trannies started seeing Keffals as a danger to the overall image of transgenderism. His fellow liberals, lefties and commies saw Keffals as a strain on their side of the aisle, and it was everyday Twitch and Twitter users who saw him as an annoying attention seeker. He was being criticised and attacked those on his side, and it was starting to get to him. Almost after an hour of announcing the deletion of his second account, Keffals was trying to gain attention by ratioing tweets at the Wendy's Twitter account, a perfect example of Keffals' problem. If you can't teach old dog new tricks, he kept up his pathetic attention-seeking childish ratios with an overall unpleasant nature and character. He ended up adding a unsurprisingly large statistic. His main Twitter account. By the end of June, right as Pride Month was cleaning up, Keffals' main Twitter account was banned. In 1 second, millions of ratios and incoherent rants were showed from Twitter. Theories have sprung up as to what got Keffals banned, but the prevailing theory amongst fans and dictators was that he got in trouble for botting. With his strange growth and ridiculously high likes on his shitposts, Keffals may have gotten into trouble with Twitter's new owner and his crusade against robots. He is back now with his new Twitter account, which isn't verified, and is likely will never be, since they only give the check marks to someone once. This means Keffals got no special privileges or no special Twitter staff to talk to if the shit hits the fan again. So yeah, that was banned. We'll look at that in a minute though, because I'm pretty sure the account's still up. Twitch. On the 18th of July, Keffals fired up a stream on both his YouTube and Twitch, where he tried to cancel Destiny again. But by just listening to his crimes, while the Twitch chat was live with millions of tranny fans typing their support, the YouTube stream had its live chat disabled halfway through the stream, probably because Twitch gives moderators far better tools to ban and silence those in your chats who disagrees with you. But would Keffals be so afraid of criticism if he was calling out someone so heinous and awful? As long as his evidence was concrete, everyone would agree with Keffals, right? Dead tired. The stream was a mess, with Keffals essentially giving his audience Destiny greatest hits. Anything that wasn't a joke or clip out of context had already been addressed by Destiny himself, giving something Keffals would have known if he had actually done research on the man he hated so much. Before YouTube chat was disabled, hundreds of Destiny fans and Keffals' own supporters were calling Keffals out by not playing certain clips in full, misleading essential context. Moderators' response to delete messages that proved Keffals was being degenerate. Eventually they gave up and the chat was disabled. Suddenly the stream has stopped. Keffals had been banned midstream. His ban was only temporary, but he did lose his Twitch partner status, meaning that he wouldn't make any money off the Twitch for a while. The reason of the ban was due to the thumbnail of the stream. One of Keffals' main arguments that Destiny was a frequent poster on the kiwi farms, so his stream thumbnail was Destiny's face surrounded by kiwi farms posts. Twitch's rules state you can't show a banned streamer, so his thumbnail was a very stupid idea. But even worse was the kiwi farms posts Keffals had used. These posts contained certain words that Twitch don't like fag, kill yourself, etc. That's what KYS means, by the way, if you didn't already know. Keffals went on his stream, a YouTube stream, to claim that it was probably the far right were mass reporting his Twitch account. He told his fans how fleeing how freeing it was it was able to say faggot on YouTube before closing his stream. The following day, he would tweet insensibly that everything wrong in his life was a clear sign that the Nazis were in control of Twitch, and transphobia was everywhere. He went to Twitch to tell Keffals. Wait a minute, who? It must have been Destiny or something. I don't know. Oh, okay. Those went onto Twitter to tell Keffals. Okay, I thought it was there for some reason. That just fucked up, and he should have moved on. Keffals accused him of hating trans people. You can now see who. you can see now. There we go. Why even those who originally on Keffals' side were turning on him, including trans people. He used his status as a mutilated freak to cheat at life. Anything that goes wrong is transphobia, and any praise or help he is given from his status of being a tranny is simply him working hard against the system. Keffals has never worked hard in his life. He was handed everything on a plate. His surgery from his father, his open eyes from the communists, his Twitch and Twitter from the people who thought they were helping out the little guys. Keffals simply took these gifts and revealed himself to be a spiteful, petty freak who would rather try to bully those around him than help who followed him. People don't hate Keffals because he's trans, they just hate him because he uses his trans identity as a excuse every time he fucks up. So you got some screenshots here. So swatting now, this is like the important bit. In August of 2022, Keffals got swatted after someone sent a fake note to the police. The note was an impersonation of Keffals, with it claiming he thought himself trans but now realised he's actually insane. So he's going to kill strangers in his own town, fucking hell, and then himself. Despite the note being written in broken English, it used Keffals' names Clara and Lucas and was enough to convince the authorities it was genuine. Shortly after having his home raided, Keffals put up a YouTube video in which he complained that the police kept referring to him as a man and Lucas and using Lucas instead of Clara to refer to him. Considering that they believed the note was true, they still thought he was a lunatic who has denounced his trans nonsense and was ready to shoot up a school. Keffals declared the police department was transphobic. Of course it fucking would. And that they weren't looking out for him, instead using the note as an excuse to punch down on trans people. This became such a large story that Keffals got on TV, in which Lucas tried to make pig noises as his face paint was pushed away from his crocodile tears, revealing a creepy man behind the facade. While Keffals' reaction online was to declare war and get angry, his TV appearance was him appealing for sympathy, calling him the sympathy card, in other words. A lot of people do that, a lot of idiots do that. Claiming that all he wanted was to create a safe haven for trannies around the world, despite his constant outbursts at his own fans, which has led to constant alienations. Keffals set up a GoFundMe for legal costs as he planned to sue the police for his home invasion. You can't do that, you fucking moron. Which has raised 80 grand in one day. I think it's at 100 at the minute. The GoFundMe was also mentioned that it would help pay him to move somewhere else. How can he move somewhere using a GoFundMe? It's like you can't earn enough for that. Which likely means he's profiting out of the situation by claiming he needs the cash for legal reasons, while spending most of it on himself. The funniest part of the whole story that in June 2021, the tweet that he wanted those to be that he wanted those he disliked to be swatted just so they would go away, similar to his attempts to deplatform and cancel his peers. It seems that karma struck again. Doxed again. Keffals said in the video above he was using a green screen so nobody could find out where he lived. However, it was not long after the video was uploaded that it was not long, but my voice is dying at the minute. After said video was uploaded, someone hacked his Uber account and started to send food to his residence. How do you get someone's Uber account like that? Lucas publicly asked the Uber support for help on Twitter and also made a mistake by posting a photo of said food next to his bed sheets. The autists at the Kiwi Farms started cross-referencing the bed sheets with various Airbnbs. And just like that, they found Lucas's hideout. They're fucking clever, to be fair. Lucas gets doxed again by the third time by these autists, cross-referencing the doorknob. Developing story. Let me just I don't want to scroll too much because I know there's another one here and I don't know where it is. Developing story of either a true hero or Keffals inventing bullshit to gain sympathy. In the comments of of Lucas's doxbin, a potato N-word by the name of Matthew has claimed that he will travel to Lucas's current hideout at 9 AM Northern Ireland time. So there we go. That's the country where he lives, apparently, in Ireland. Fucking hell. Ireland time, beat the shit out of him and post a video somewhere. Do not fucking do that. You're a moron for doing that. Don't do that. A number of things here seemed off. He linked his YouTube platform where you can get banned for saying anything that goes against the liberal agenda, stating his plan in full. He also never said where the video would go. It certainly wouldn't be on YouTube. It'll probably be on Live Leaks. No, it won't. Live Leaks don't exist anymore. It is most likely that Lucas or one of his retarded fans / close friends pretending to seriously threaten him, so Lucas will have more batshit stories to tell on Twitch and Twitter. More on the story as it develops. Hopefully this guy isn't full of shit. Lucas has already started to using his totally real threat at Cloudflare and dilate the Kiwi farms, giving most reasonable suspicion to the theory that it was Lucas / an extremely misguided supporter or friend to the threat. We got this now, a Wiggler meme. No idea what the fuck it is. Lucas' old profile picture named Wiggler by the Kiwis. Oh, it's a Kiwi, okay. Was ripped to death to the point that is now considered a meme on the Kiwi farms. Here are some of them shrubs. Ooh, look at that. Lovely. Alright, doing it slowly because we don't know where we're going to get. The meltdown. So what is Keffals up to now? What can we expect in the future? His streams on Twitch with a fluctuating audience, with normal streams losing him followers as everyone realises he is just an angry little freak who hates his fans more than his detractors. Since he's so passive aggressive with generally nasty people in his chat, with his dying career, old media is writing articles depicting Lucas as some saviour of the political left. It is likely that Keffals' brand will be killed by its passionate and insane fans, with Lucas dying alone, regretful of his self-mutilation. Live by ratio, die by ratio. And we got some stuff here, which I'm not going to show. It's not going to be like the videos. It's going to be other things. I'm recording for a long time. So I'll basically say that we got some videos here, which I'm not going to show the copyright reasons. Information about Keffals and going through his tweets and stuff. We also got a gallery of pictures, what he used to look like, and we got the Twitter tweets as well. So yeah, this is I don't know what to say about this, but yeah, there's a quote here, questionable forwards as there as her clitoris, which is true. It is not even there. It looks mangled, to be fair. See also Canada has fingers without the end of it already. Canada, dead name Lucas Roberts, effort, transgender, trolling included transgender syndrome, Twitch, the shitty site where he streams, social justice warrior, special snowflake syndrome, Stephen Bonnet II, the person who successfully got banned from Twitch, but not for the lulz, Volsh, victim complex, just like every single SJW, Keffals suffers from one. External links are the Twitch thread, not Twitch thread, the Kiwi Farms thread on her. His Twitch, his Twitter account, his band one, his YouTube account, his Patreon. He's got a website of his tranny porn. He's got lucasroberts.lol and his docs, which we're not going to show because we don't show doxes on people. Keffals is a part of the following series: Faggotry, Social Justice, Social Media. Keffals is part of a series on YouTube. Keffals is a part of the series on YouTube Ranters. Keffals is part of a series of Social Kankakistan. Keffals is a part of a series on Dying Alone, Cry Yourself to Sleep. Keffals is a part of a series on lolcows. Well then, that has been it. I've been not streaming, but I've been going for a long time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also up there in there is my support link, so if you want to support me you can. I will see you guys next time.